The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zekthor's translator crackled to life. The reptilian diplomat from Draxus Prime had called this emergency session, and the 1,000 species present waited with mounting concern. Holographic displays flickered across the vast auditorium, showing a small blue-green planet orbiting an unremarkable yellow star. "Esteemed council members," Zekthor began, his voice carrying the weight of genuine distress, "we face an unprecedented crisis. The humans, these newcomers from Sol 3, have rejected every diplomatic overture we have extended." Elizabeth Chen stood at her observation post aboard the UNSC Defiance, watching the alien armada maintain its position just beyond Mars' orbit. As the ship's chief xenopsychologist, she had spent 3 years studying the Galactic Council's communication patterns, their social hierarchies, their elaborate protocols. She understood them perfectly. That was precisely why Earth had said no. "Captain Rodriguez," she said calmly, "they're broadcasting again. Same message, different phrasing." The captain, a weathered woman with steel-gray hair, didn't look up from her tactical display. "Let me guess. Another invitation to become a protected species under their benevolent guidance?" "Essentially, yes. Though this time they're offering premium trade routes and advanced medical technology." Rodriguez snorted. "In exchange for only 40% of our industrial output, restricted military capabilities, and mandatory council oversight of our government. What a bargain." On the Galactic Council flagship Harmonious Unity, Noah Vex stood before the assembled representatives as Earth's sole spokesman. He hadn't been Earth's first choice. That honor had gone to seasoned diplomats who lasted exactly 1 meeting before resigning in frustration. Noah was different. The former hostage negotiator understood something critical. Sometimes the only winning move was not to play. "Ambassador Noah," began Council High Mediator Trelvix, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's light into rainbow patterns. "Surely you understand the precariousness of your position. 17 species have petitioned for immediate sanctions. The Kralix Dominion has suggested quarantine. You stand alone against the combined might of 8,000 civilizations." Noah smiled pleasantly. "Yes." The single-word response created a cascade of confused translations. Species who communicated through bioluminescence flickered in agitation. Those who used pheromones released clouds of bewilderment. "That is all you have to say?" Trelvix pressed. "Just yes?" "Well, you summarized our position accurately. We are indeed alone. We are indeed outnumbered. These facts don't change our answer." On Earth, the decision had been far from unanimous. Elizabeth remembered the heated debates in the UN chambers, the protests, the fear. But she also remembered the intelligence reports, the intercepted communications between council species, the pattern that emerged once humanity looked past the diplomatic niceties. Every species in the Galactic Council had joined as a junior partner. Every single one had traded sovereignty for security. The Velhari had given up their military. The Quintari had surrendered their resource rights. The Polvics had accepted council governors who still ruled their worlds 3 centuries later. The pattern was clear. The council didn't create partnerships, it absorbed civilizations. "Captain," Elizabeth said, pulling up a new analysis, "they're moving to economic pressure now. Threatening to block all trade, deny us access to their technology." Rodriguez actually laughed. "They still think that's a threat? We've been alone in the universe for our entire existence. We built everything we have from scratch. What exactly are they threatening to take away?" This was what the Council couldn't comprehend. Humanity had no framework for Galactic Council integration, because humanity had never needed the Council. Every technology humans possessed, they had invented. Every resource they used, they had extracted from dead planets in their own solar system. Every problem they faced, they had solved themselves. Noah watched the council members confer in their respective languages. Through his earpiece, Elizabeth's voice crackled. "They're confused, Noah, genuinely confused. In 10,000 years of council history, no species has ever refused membership. They literally don't have a protocol for this." "Good," Noah replied quietly. "Confusion we can work with. It's when they think they understand us that things get dangerous." Trelvix reformed her crystalline structure into what her species considered an imposing stance. "Ambassador Noah, perhaps you misunderstand the benefits of council membership. We offer protection from the Void Reavers, access to medical technology that could extend your lifespans by centuries, faster than light communication across the galaxy, We're working on our own FTL solutions, Noah interrupted. Should have them operational in 50 to 70 years. The chamber erupted. It was impossible. FTL travel had taken the Council's founding species millennia to develop, with assistance from dimension-striding entities. These humans claimed they would do it alone in less than a century. Impossible, declared Ambassador Zekthor. You barely achieved interplanetary travel 20 years ago. Noah shrugged. We went from first-powered flight to walking on our moon in 66 years. From mechanical computers the size of rooms to quantum processors in a human lifetime. We're pretty good at the whole technological progress thing. Elizabeth smiled as she monitored the Council's internal communications. Panic was spreading. Species who had built their economies around being technological middlemen suddenly faced a civilization that didn't need middlemen. Military powers who rented out their protection realized humans might not need protection. They'd probably fight their own battles. The entire Council economic model was predicated on dependency, and humanity was aggressively, almost defiantly, independent. They're offering direct military alliance now, Elizabeth reported. Full partnership, equal vote, no restrictions. Translation? Rodriguez asked. They're terrified we'll become a threat instead of an asset. On the Council flagship, Noah listened to the increasingly desperate offers. Unrestricted trade, technology transfers, territorial guarantees. With each offer, the price of humanity's cooperation rose, because with each offer, the Council revealed more weakness. High Mediator Trelvix, Noah said finally. Earth appreciates the Council's interest. We're willing to establish embassy exchanges, to attend Council sessions as observers, to engage in limited trade. But we will not surrender our sovereignty. We will not accept Council governors. We will not cap our military. And we will not subordinate our government to Council authority. These terms are non-negotiable. Then what do you want from us? Trelvix asked, her crystalline form flickering with something that might have been desperation. Noah's smile was genuine. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's what you keep failing to understand. We don't need the Galactic Council. It's the Council that needs to decide what kind of relationship it wants with humanity. The chamber fell silent. It was a paradigm shift that shattered 10,000 years of diplomatic precedent. Species didn't dictate terms to the Council. Species didn't refuse membership. Species didn't thrive alone, but humanity wasn't like other species. Elizabeth watched the alien armada begin its slow withdrawal from Sol system. No shots fired. No invasion. Just a confused, dismayed Galactic Council retreating to debate what to do about the humans who had looked at the entire galaxy and said, "Thanks, but we're good." "Captain," she said, "I think we just rewrote the rules of galactic diplomacy." Rodriguez grinned. "Good. Their rules sucked anyway." And in the observation deck, Elizabeth allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had ventured into the cosmos not as supplicants begging for acceptance, but as equals demanding respect. The Galactic Council would adapt or it would become irrelevant. Either way, humanity would be just fine.